Unlisted Archiver here. Today I will be going over all the suit reuses and retools in Kamen Rider Geats. If you're an OG of the main channel, then you would know I have already made a Kamen Rider Geats reuse video, but it only covered 9 episodes. I was going to be a lazy fuck and reuse the old video, but the video is kind of, what's the word? Terrible? Like, I sounded depressed, so I'm not going to use that footage. So basically, I decided to start fresh. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Firstly, let's get started with the small raised buckle forms. The arrow buckle, when used, gives you the raised arrow, a repaint of Kamen Rider Zimonious's bowgun. When using the water buckle, you'll be giving the raised water, which is a repaint of Kamen Rider Build's Fire Hedgehog Multi-Deluge gun. When used, the hammer buckle gives you the raised hammer, which is a repaint of Kamen Rider Gridon's hammer. When using the shield buckle, you'll be given the raised shield, which is repainted from Kamen Rider Saber's Emotional Dragon Destruction Shield, which in turn was a repaint of Kamen Rider Forze's shield module. The raised chain array is repainted from SD World's D-Ball from Ziin Gazer. The raised claw is repainted from Kamen Rider Valkyrie's Justice Servo's claws. Coming in next is the drill buckle, which gives you the raised drill, and that is repainted from Kamen Rider Birth's drill arm. The raised propeller is repainted from Kamen Rider Build's Bat Raptor blade. The Gigant hammer is modified from a giant hammer from Gokaiger. The Gigant blaster is kit bashed by fitting the Zek Trooper's machine gun blade from Kamen Rider Kabuto over the barrel of the gun from Ryu Soldier. The Gigant sword is modified from the railway crossing sword from Tokuger. The armor part added by the Gigant container buckle is modified from the lower armed weapon die armor. With those small buckle forms out of the way, let's get started onto the main cast. Up first is our main rider, Kamen Rider Geats. In Geats' rendition of the Power Builder form, you will notice a few distinct changes. The mouthpiece sports a modified design with longer shovels, while the right shoulder pad is repainted from the Boost form. Every aspect of the Boost Mark III is a repainted version of the standard Boost form. The only exception to this form is the replacement of the exhaust pipes with Ninetale-like armor. Geats Oneness retools Geats 9's suit with a new armor piece for the upper body. The helmet is a repainted version of the normal Geats helmet and Magnum mouthpiece. In the Kamen Rider Geats final stage, Geats will have 4 iterations of the Magnum Boost form, simply called Local Geats, with each 4 embodying a Japanese delicacy in a place of Japan. Next is our favorite raccoon, Kamen Rider Tycoon, who would have a few reused suits. Tycoon's Shinobi form incorporates a chest piece borrowed from Kamen Rider Wo's featuring Shinobi, while also incorporating the arm guards of the ninja players with a fresh coat of paint. Furthermore, the form utilizes the mouthpiece seen in the zombie form, along with the yellow eyes typically associated with the Boost, Arm, and Fever forms. To complete this form, Tycoon wields Q9 that appears to be repainted versions of Aguilera's Q9, which in turn was a repainted version of the Ichigo Q9 from Gain. The Tycoon Bujin sword form dons a black and green recolored version of its command form helmet and torso armor. Notably, the visor has been further customized for this appearance. The leg armor takes on a new color scheme drawing from the lower portions of the ninja form, while the shoulders and arm armor remains unique. The addition of a black cape completes this distinctive look of this form. Tycoon's version of Boost Mark II form repaints the ninja form mouthpiece and switches Tycoon's helmet from green to red. And that would be it for Tycoon. Next is Kamen Rider Nago, who will only have one reuse form. Fantasy Form's armor repurposes elements from Kamen Rider Brave Teto Fantasy. A nice touch is the vertical seam on the chest armor, which mimics the revolve-on aspect seen in other Geats riders. Nago's version of the armor uses a repainted Boost form mouthpiece also. Now is the time for our favorite edgelord who, unlike Nago, will have 3 reuse forms, and that is Kamen Rider Buffa. The Buffa Oja form incorporates elements from, well, Kamen Rider Oja, utilizing the chest piece for its design. Additionally, it features silver lines on the visor drawing inspiration from the visors worn by the Ryuki riders. Kamen Rider Buffa's Fever Zombie form, specifically the Jamashin version, adds Kamen Rider Calibur's Jowl Dragon's cape and replaces the horns with larger gold ones, which are actually based on the Crushing Buffalo Raider. And you might ask yourself, why didn't they just reuse the Crushing Buffalo horns instead of making new horns? And the answer, according to suit designers, is simply because of strength. Of the horns were too weak, so they just went ahead and made new ones. Kamen Rider Buffa's Explosion Rage is a creative mashup of suits from various rider shows. The horns are taken from his Jamashin form, which are now repainted black and paired with the visor of the command form. The torso and forearm armor are recolored versions of the ninja player's suits, while the leg parts come from the monster form, minus the boots. One of the coolest features is the claw, a reworked version of the Game Dust shield with chainsaw and claw elements added. The shoulder pads from the command form return with a fresh paint job, and the cape is straight up reused from his Jamashin form. Now we are done with the main cast and moving to the supporting characters. Kamen Rider Da-Paan shares the same basic helmet design as Kamen Rider Shiori, but with differently shaped ears that are now colored black and a black spot around the right eye. Kamen Rider Punkjack's helmet is an orange version of the bear helmet used by Kamen Rider Shiori and Da-Paan, though it features a combination of Shiori's right circle eye and Da-Paan's ears. Kamen Rider Keilow's helmet is repainted from Kamen Rider Ginpin. Kamen Rider Letter's helmet receives a fresh coat of paint originally sourced from Kamen Rider Mary and notably with the fur covering removed. Kamen Rider Nerd-Sparrow's helmet is a retooled version of the helmet used by Kamen Rider Ginpin and Keilow, removing the feather-like crests above the eyes. Kamen Rider Groovy's helmet is retooled from Kamen Rider Lopo. Kamen Rider Hakubi's helmet gets a major makeover heavily retooled from the designs of Mary and Letter. What makes it stand out is that Hakubi is the first rider in Geats whose animal theme breaks away from the biological family shared by the riders who influence her helmet design. Kamen Rider Turbon's helmet is just straight up Kamen Rider Hakubi's helmet but with a nose added on. Kamen Rider Brali's helmet is also the same but with the exceptions of the tusk and different ears. Kamen Rider Gya-go's helmet including Fantasy's form mouthpiece is retooled from Kamen Rider Seeker. Kamen Rider Butchi's helmet is a repainted version of Kamen Rider Groovy's helmet, which was retooled from Kamen Rider Lopo's. Now is the time for the riders that are completely CGI. Kamen Rider Kekura's CGI model is modified from Kamen Rider Shinobi's mecha. Kamen Rider Kyun's CGI model is modified from the Kamen Rider Beast Chimera. Kamen Rider Baroba's CGI model is modified from the Kamen Rider 01's Breaking Mammoth. Now let's get into airy repaint of Glare and Gazer. Kamen Rider Glare 2's suit has several notable changes compared to Glare, with the digital blotch patterns added to the Hypno Ray, helmet, and torso, giving it a more chaotic look compared to Glare's cleaner design. Gazer's suit is built from the same mold as Kamen Rider Glare, but it's painted white and gold, with extra gold highlights on the visor. Kamen Rider Suel Gazer's helmet has additional red accents that are absent on Gazer. Gazer Zero uses the same base suit as Division Driver Riders, but with a green color scheme and red scarf reminiscent of Kamen Rider Ichigo. The Jyamato Gazer suit itself is a green color version of the Division Driver Rider costume. Kamen Rider Regad is repainted from Glare Art Gazer, is set with the chest and shoulder armor from Kamen Rider Vulcan Assault Wolf. A waistcoat and numerous gold eye-like pieces have also been added. A bonus fact is that Soul's mask is a retooled of Colus's Game Master mask, repainted a jaw portion and with a new visor piece. Regad Omega is identical to Regad except the visor has opened up to reveal a single large eye. Ziin Gazer uses the same base suit as Kamen Rider Gazer but with the Kamen Rider Jin color scheme and a retooled helmet, and this form will be exclusive to Kamen Rider Outsiders, more specifically the last episode. Now time for the Miscellaneous Riders. The Guard Rider's helmet used all black variants of Glare's Hypno Rays with the addition of a red sleeve accessory on the right arm. The End Rider suits are repurposed from the Guard Riders minus the red sleeve accessory that identifies them and with a black visor instead of red. The two unnamed DGP riders seen in Michinaga's flashback reuses Kamen Rider Emperor's helmet and the Elephant Amazon's head. Kamen Rider Cross Geats' helmet shares its mold with Geats 9. His chest, shoulders, and thigh receives a fresh coat of paint originally sourced from Kamen Rider Vulcan Lone Wolf, while the forearms and lower legs are repainted from Kamen Rider Revi Volcano Rex Genome. Kamen Rider Doom Geats is a golden and white recolor of the Kamen Rider Cross Geats costume. And there you have it, every single suit reuse and retool in Kamen Rider Geats. And thank you for watching this video. I know it took a while for this video to be released, but you know, I had to wait for every single costume to get released and for every special to come out so I can update my list. And now I have to do Kamen Rider Gachard, which I'm not really excited to do, to be honest. I don't feel like writing the script yet, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit. I guess, Happy New Year's and late Christmas present, I guess. I don't know, man. And with those final words, I have been Unlisted Archiver signing out for another month or so. I don't know. It gets harder to track every time I go missing.